Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about our Tenecteplase Pyxis kits. With our move to Tenecteplase for acute ischemic stroke in the North region, we've put together these kits that will be stocked in all of the Pyxis machines in all of the EDs across the region. There will be one at the ready in the Pyxis with one at the ready in in-house pharmacy as a backup, and we'll constantly have that ability to refill these. For our freestand sites, there will be a workflow in place to make sure that we're refilling these as well, to make sure that you always have them readily available. So all of the kits will look something like this, labeled very clearly as Tenecteplase for stroke. You open up and it's literally got everything you need. The goal of this is to make it a one-stop shop, make this process as smooth as possible, and do it safely. In the lid of each one of these are your dosing charts and administration instructions. Once we go live, we'll have some nice colorful ones. This is our dosing chart. It's measured out based upon weight, and the increments that march out with this dosing go in 0.2 ml increments. So we're going to be pretty darn accurate. We're going to be able to measure this out specifically, and you'll be set up for success if you have to measure and mix this. The other part in here is some administration instructions and considerations for care. Just walks you through step by step how to use the pieces of the kit, some of the points I'll talk about, and how to safely reconstitute, dose, and then administer this medication with some monitoring considerations immediately post-thrombolytic on there as well. For the actual kit itself, there's 4 little cubbies here. Has all of the goodies that we'll need. We have a 10 ml syringe with its needle, a vial of sterile water, a 5 ml syringe with its needle, and then the Tenecteplase itself. So really across these 4 cubbies, this is what you're going to need to give Tenecteplase here in the North. I will call out that the Tenecteplase vial itself is actually a 50 milligram vial. For stroke, we will never give more than 25. Tenecteplase is currently FDA approved for MI management at that 50 milligram dose. For stroke, it's undergoing FDA approval and is set at 25 milligrams. So should you be giving Tenecteplase for stroke, you will never use this full vial. Once that FDA approval happens, we'll be able to start working on having 25 milligram vials. But current state, you have a 50 milligram vial, you should never be using more of it, because more than half of it, because the max dose is 25 milligrams. And that's listed everywhere. There's max dose considerations here in the kit and also in your MAR order that pharmacy will be putting in. So say we have a patient that is thrombolytic eligible. We've gotten the go-ahead from neurology or the ER doc to give Tenecteplase. We'll still call pharmacy just like we do now and say, hey, we're going to be giving TNK. Let's do this. While you go, or your buddy goes to the Pyxis to grab the Tenecteplase kit, pharmacy will be putting the order in. In a perfect world, those are on timeout, great. You'll be able to pull it with that weight-based order already in by pharmacy and then get ready to give. So once you grab your kit, I want to highlight that the 10 ml syringe is specifically for reconstituting and use with the sterile water. 10 ml, sterile water, reconstitution. The 5 ml syringe is specifically for dosing and administration. This is the max you will ever give of Tenecteplase, so it's an added visual reminder of we should be giving no more than this. If we're giving less, that's fine because it's somewhere on that dosing chart, but you should never be giving more than 5 mLs of Tenecteplase, which is 25 milligrams. So I make it a point to keep these very close together so that I can make sure I'm dosing safely and correctly. So we're going to go ahead and get things ready to roll here. We'll wipe off each of our vials, have them ready, and I'm going to get my 10 ml syringe with my needle. Set that down right next to my sterile water, because remember, the 10 ml syringe and sterile water are friends, and the 5 ml syringe and the actual medication are friends. So I'm going to get my 10 mLs of dilution liquid, this sterile water. 10 mLs in sterile water are friends. That's the way we should be. We'll pull that out. And then I'm going to inject it into the Tenecteplase vial. So when you get your Tenecteplase vial out of your kit, it's going to have the powder at the bottom of it. That is what we are reconstituting. So as you inject this 10 mLs of sterile water, If you kind of angle it and have it go against the side of the vial, chances of bubbling will decrease. I also want to highlight that this is not a medication that should be shaken. This should be a dilute and swirl. If we shake this med, we run the risk of denaturing it and decreasing its effectiveness. So this is a swirl gently so that we can get it mixed safely, effectively, without denaturing it. So then we'll put that in. We'll get our 10 ml syringe and our sharps. You'll want to mix this and make sure that you have any particles dissolved completely. Make sure there's not a lot of bubbles. If there's a few, you can still use it. That's fine. I'm going to re-clean this because I just had my fingers all over it. And then I'm going to get my 5 ml syringe. So your 5 ml syringe is what should be touching your Tenecteplase. That's what you're going to be actually dosing with. And so for our patient today, we're going to say they are 65 kilograms. So if I look at my handy dandy dosing chart, 65 kilograms calls for 16 milligrams, which is 3.2 mLs. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my 3.2 mLs. There we go. And then I'm going to grab a sticker. I'm going to label this and I'm going to give it to my patient. Just like with our prior thrombolytics, we do need a dual sign-off. That can be 2 RNs. That can be an RN and a pharmacist if they're available, but you have to have that dual sign-off to double check your dose. One of the beauties of Tenecteplase is that it is a single IV push. So you don't have to do a multiple setup. You can get your dose, confirm your dose, do your dual sign-off, make sure that patient's blood pressure is within parameters, and you're good to give it over 5 to 10 seconds just as a single IV push. Really great in terms of timeliness for the administration of this medication. Much, much quicker, much, much simpler. The other nice part about Tenecteplase is that the indications, blood pressure parameters, post-administration monitoring, all of it is the same. It's the same as we've always done. Use your orange sheet for post-thrombolytic considerations. That will still be your guide because we're still going to be monitoring this patient a lot after administration, and they'll still need to lay it in the critical care arena for that first 24 hours with that frequent monitoring. Should you be responding to an in-house stroke alert that will be receiving Tenecteplase, pharmacy will still be mixing and diluting and bringing you the medication. So for the ED, we will have our Tenecteplase kits. For our in-house stroke alerts, pharmacy will be overseeing that dosing and administration. So we're excited for this move. I think it's going to be a great move. And if you all have any questions, please let us know. Thank you for the work you do. We couldn't do it without you.